Let's talk about the power of do. The people who have the ability to make an entire afternoon activity out of bubble gum, duct tape, and a half-broken hula hoop. Are you my hula hoop people? Because I heard that. OST professionals, you are the ultimate doers. And you're doing it inside of systems that don't always fit the people you're serving. Doers are special. They never have the perfect conditions. You are the last people to wait for applause. And while other people are too busy waiting for permission, doers don't, because they're too busy doing. And that is what today's story is about. So let me set the stage for you, because I live someplace way different than here. So I'm sitting underneath a tree that barely has enough leaves for shade. Everything around me is a mix of dust, stickers, and concrete. The roads in town are all made of dirt, except for the single highway that divides it down the middle. Rural Colorado. The flat part, not the pointy part like the pictures. A place where 1 in 4 children lives in poverty. It's the end of the day. I'm surrounded by teens that have just asked me for jobs. Kids that got told no before they ever got a chance to try. You guys know those kids, right? Yeah. So they've asked me for jobs. I'm trying to figure out what to do. In the meantime, I just had a key staff member who quit. It's 104 degrees. I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to run tomorrow's programs. And I am just about to make a decision that's going to put everything that I have ever learned about leadership to the ultimate test. You guys are all quiet. It means you're paying attention. It's making me nervous. So I'm going to look at my notes, okay? So, thank you. Thank you for letting me put that out there, because it's been eating at me for 3 days. So I run a kids program in an agricultural community, one of the ones where the water ran out a long time ago. It was more than enrichment. It was a lifeline for these kids and their families. And sitting there that day under the tree with those kids, I asked my usual question. How was the day? More important, what are your hopes for tomorrow? One teen, a brilliant young girl who wanted to study engineering, said, "Miss, I need a job and no one will hire me." I knew her story. She'd grown up in a trailer with little to nothing. The building leaked when it rained. She often had her siblings because her parents worked long hours at the factory. She was a top student, and she had the biggest, most welcoming smile you have ever seen. About then, another kid piped up, "Miss, me too." And another, and another. And sitting there worried about budgets and staffing and logistics and feeling like I'd failed everyone, I realized something. The people closest to the problem are the ones that are closest to the solution. The answer I was looking for, it wasn't in some fancy book or grant proposal. It was right in front of me, barefoot in the grass, sipping on a soda. We spend so much time worrying about leadership and about all the things that come with it. That day I looked at it different. Dreaming is easy. Daring is dramatic. But doing is where real change actually happens. I had dreamt up a nonprofit. I had dared to build it. But on that day, I did. I hired those kids, all of them, on the spot. Turns out, hiring them was the easy part. Yeah, y'all that have kids know this, right? So we go in and we're studying nutrition. I have a beautiful presentation ready. A teen pulls me aside, says, "That's not going to work." When I asked why, she explained, because most of us kids don't get to eat breakfast. You can't teach a hungry kid about the importance of an apple. You have to feed them first. And she was right. So we changed up everything we did, and we started with breakfast every day. In 2 weeks, our attendance skyrocketed. And it wasn't just about the food. We had one kid that everyone labeled too difficult. Y'all know this kid, right? Yeah. Another teen pulled me aside and said, "He's not difficult. He's exhausted. He gets up at 5 in the morning when his parents go to work in the fields. He has to care for his younger siblings and get them ready for school." So we changed up programs again. We met him where he was. We started with breakfast for everyone. Then other teens engaged his siblings, so he had some space. He never got angry again. And this story, and other ones like it, made me realize something. I didn't design a program for kids. I designed a program with kids. Those kids weren't the problem, they were the blueprint. Yes. And they have knowledge that we can never learn because they're living it. Of course, we had people who said you can't. Oh, the people that said you can't. You can't hire kids. You can't hire those kids. But doers, we make things happen because it's the right thing. And so we did. And those first kids, well, one of them is now my COO. I gotta do this without crying. Another runs a tax program for the city and county of Denver. Another is an engineer in Missouri. And one started his very own nonprofit, so kids like him could have an opportunity to be their best. Yeah. They're a pretty amazing bunch. We spend so much time developing programs for people that we forget to develop programs with people. We look for the right credentials, we seek out the right funding, and while we're doing all of that, the people with the answers are right in front of us, waiting for us to notice. That day under the tree, I didn't fix a staffing problem. I changed trajectories for those kids, for the future kids, for my programs, and for my very own life. Nothing I did was special. It wasn't hard. It's back to the notes, everybody. Did you notice that? Thanks. I just got close enough to the problem to see the solution. So when you choose action over waiting, when you choose honesty over buzzwords, you don't just change a program, you change a life. The power of do. And here's the truth. The world was never changed by people who wait. It's changed by people who are willing. So stop waiting and start doing.